Seong Gi-hun, the man who mirrored the world when a bankrupt debtor becomes a symbol of humanity. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning to find that the entire world knows you. Not because of your achievements, not because of wealth or fame, but because of your failures. Seong Gi-hun experienced exactly this, but in a deadly game. The sacred failure of an ordinary man. Gi-hun is the perfect embodiment of modern humanity. A man crushed by life, yet still holding on to hope. He's 47 years old, drowning in debt, divorced, and his mother is dying. He's a taxi driver who has failed even in this simple profession. But here's the fascinating part. He's still human. In a world where everything is measured by money, Gi-hun stands as one of the last guardians of humanity. He's someone who would die for his daughter, endures every humiliation for his mother, risks everything for his friends. The great test, when death becomes the price of life. The Squid Game isn't just an E. Gi-hun, it's humanity's ultimate test. At every step, he must decide. Will he sacrifice others to save himself? Do morals matter when your life is on the line? Does being human still count when survival is at stake? And at every moment, he chooses humanity. The transformation of an unlikely hero. Throughout the games, Gi-hun undergoes an extraordinary metamorphosis. From a man who couldn't pay his milk grill, he becomes someone who. It includes past detection, takes leadership of the group, fights for the weakest members, saves others even in the final moments. A mirror for modern society. Gi-hun represents everyone who lives under the pressure of debt and poverty, feels like the system is working against them, still maintains hope despite all obstacles. He demonstrates that being ordinary means being extraordinary. Because in a world where everything has a price, he refuses to sell his humanity. The bitter victory. When Gi-hun wins the game, he realizes that victory, actually defeat. The money he's won is stained with his friend's blood. The success he's achieved came at the cost of losing himself. But this is exactly what makes him a hero. He can't live with this bitter victory. That's why he decides to re-enter the game. Not for money, but for revenge and justice. The legacy of a human being, Gi-hun teaches us that humanity is the best weapon we have against oppressive systems. Hope can survive even in the darkest circumstances. Choice. Everyone can decide who they want to be. He shows that any ordinary person can choose to be a hero in a defining moment. The reluctant revolutionary. What makes Gi-hun truly compelling is his reluctance to be a hero. He doesn't want to save the world. He just wants to save his daughter, pay his debts, and live quietly. But circumstances thrust greatness upon him, and he rises to meet it. His journey from player 456 to the man who challenges the entire system represents the awakening of conscience in modern society. He becomes the voice of everyone who has ever felt powerless against forces beyond their control. The price of consciousness. Gi-hun's victory comes with a terrible awareness. He now knows how the world really works. The innocent man who entered the game dies somewhere in those corridors. And what emerges is someone who has seen the true face of human nature. But why we love a loser. Gi-hun resonates globally because he represents the beautiful failure that lives inside all of us. He's not a superhero, not a genius, not particularly skilled. He's just a man who refuses to abandon his humanity when it would be convenient to do so. In a world obsessed with winners, Gi-hun shows us that sometimes the most heroic thing you can do is lose, but lose on your own terms. Seong Gi-hun isn't just a fictional character. He's a reflection of all of us. He's the mirror showing us that deep within every ordinary person lies a sleeping hero, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And you, what choice would you make in Gi-hun's position?